from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to get cozy and get comfortable as I try to put you to sleep. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest, what I'm going to attempt to do. Whoops, I'm totally distracted. And I'll tell you why I'm distracted. I'm recording in a temporary location in an extra bedroom, but right in front of me, for the first time ever, Koa, my dog, who episode 1400 featured, she just, while I was saying get cozy, get comfortable, she was getting comfortable and cozy right in front of me. Well, to my left, in front of me to my left. Because I'm in a spare bedroom with two twin beds, one of which is on the floor, or it's a twin mattress on the floor to fit more people, like family. I said, "Go, why don't you come in while I record and get comfortable and cozy?" And I've invited her. This is my third recording here, fourth time recording. And the other three times she said, "Nah, I prefer not." But now she's cozy and comfortable. So this is really a unique experience for me because I know I'm supposed to be starting a sleep podcast, but normally Koa, my dog, so she's a 17-year-old dog, and all the history of the podcast, all the locations, she's never been in front of me. When I first started the show, I was in a closet where I couldn't even see out of, and every once in a while she'd check on me, but then she'd leave. And the same with the last closet. If she poked her head in, it was behind me. Because I was looking forward. The last one I did was under a set of half stairs or three-quarter stairs. And the first place I recorded most episodes was in another closet. But by the way, welcome to Sleep With Me. It's a podcast that's here to keep you company, take your mind off stuff, and put you to sleep. If you're new, welcome. This is the kind of tangents I go on. Very dog-friendly show and that's also pet-friendly. And Koa's, she's breathing deep. She took a big, deep breath, almost a sigh. Looks like she was taking a breath to sigh and say, "Oh boy, this podcaster." But now she's turning her head, and she's not looking directly at me. She could if she wanted to, but she's not. This is like a live commentary episode. So welcome to Sleep With Me. It's a podcast that puts you to sleep, take your mind off stuff so you can fall asleep. And yeah, I'm really glad you're here. If you're new to the show, this is supposed to be a very quick, welcome to the show, but it's turned into an extended version. That's fine. But I'm really here to take your mind off stuff, not to put you to sleep, to keep you company, to be your friend in the deep, dark night, and then you just fall asleep. So see how it goes. What we got coming up is support, just like every other podcast, and that's so the podcast can be out there in the world for free, benefits the most amount of people possible. Then there's a long, meandering intro, totally separate from the support. That's meant to ease you into bedtime. And then later on will be our bedtime story. Not sure what it's going to be about yet, but I'm glad you're here. And if this podcast changes your life on a regular basis, like you fall asleep so fast it's changed your life, or you listen to 10 episodes a night, you're the person we need to support the show. If it's changed your life, you could think about, how am I going to change the life of the podcast in a positive way that's changed my life in a positive way? If you so choose, these are the ways you could do that. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. Instead of making pitches for Sleep With Me Plus right now, I'm doing a little listening campaign. So I'm just wondering if you've ever thought, like, one day I'm going to support the show, or I'm going to support the show later, or later this week, or later in my life, and it's not a financial later. Like, I mean, if it's a financial later, I totally get that. I've been in that place while I've been making the podcast. But is it like a later, like, yeah, later I'll be calmer, later I'll remember, or next week, next month, next year will be better for me. I'll be calmer, or, you know, things will be easier, or my life will be a little bit busy later. Is it something along those lines, or is it something else I'm not even tuned into? I'd love to listen and hear what it is for you. If it's been later, like a little bit deeper meaning for that for me. And if you want to let me know, you don't need to. You can do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/listen. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And hey, the thing I've been talking about lately is like there's ways to support the show beyond the sponsors and supporting the show directly. If you're an occasional listener, right? If you're a new listener or you can't afford to support the show, follow the show on your podcast app of choice. Make sure to like or comment if your app allows that, and say hi. Spread the word about the show in person when it comes up, or let people know about it. Go ahead right now. Follow the show on your podcast app right now. Then you get the latest episodes and stuff like that. Great. Yeah, spread the word when you can, or sign up we're relaunching our referral program. It's going to be based with like live stream get-togethers every once in a while. We're going to make it more fun. You could sign up for that. sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER. Thanks, and what do you say we get down with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind, thoughts about the past, present, future, thoughts about pets, things you're thinking about. It could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally. Maybe those topics bring up maybe you had emotions that were there about the past, present, the future, emotions that are just making an appearance. It could be physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something or in the middle of something. Like last night, Co and I did not sleep at home. I mean, we're still trying to define what home is, our new home. And we didn't sleep at home last night. We slept somewhere else, and it was a place, it was a room. It was a place I had slept before. Cohen never had. And I had never slept in the room I was sleeping in before, the bed I was sleeping in. And so there's a lot of tossing and turning and trouble staying asleep by both of us. And of course, we were out of sync. So then a couple times I had to get up by myself, and then a couple times I had to get up and help Koa. So I'm a little bit tired, and that's okay, because I know how it feels. The only reason I go through the stuff that keeps people awake, or just some of it, I mean, I'm just barely, getting to the, to scratching the surface, is that I just want you to know you're not alone. And I realize in a podcast that's like a pseudo whatever, but it is the truth. There's other people out there in the deep, dark night people that have been listening 1 month or 10 plus years that are rooting for you. And there's enough people listening that there's people out there that understand that whatever it is that's keeping you awake, they've been through something similar. And we all at least try to share this sensibility that we're in this together. And that's tough when you can't sleep, when you can't get the rest you need, that's tough. And I think the idea of being rooted for by strangers and having strangers root for you, I guess in some sense, if I was one of those more friendly characters, I'd say, well, we're not strangers here anymore, but it is true. It's just not the first thought that comes to my head. It's the fourth or fifth. We aren't strangers here anymore, or we're okay. I don't know. We're not strangers. We're at a distance, but we're not strangers anymore. I don't know. But you say, well, I prefer to not. Okay, yeah. You could be on the outskirts. The town, Sleep With Me podcast, a town where no one on the outskirts is a stranger. Even on the furthest outskirts of town, even if you're just passing through, you're not a stranger. But you don't have to act like you could act like you're a stranger if that makes you more comfortable. By just saying, didn't do much talking to people, if that's all right. So whatever it is that's keeping you awake, the regular listeners want to know they're pulling for you, and that one day maybe you get that feeling of pulling for other listeners and saying, I can't believe I found this podcast. It's not like anything else. I didn't know to look for something like this. It's like a slightly interesting person talking about almost nothing, but not quite nothing. I had no idea, and I'm glad you're here, because I know when I looked so hard to try to find something to help me my whole life. And I know that each and every person that's listening to the show, you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve bedtime that doesn't have to be a rigmarole, where you can get the rest you need so your life is more manageable. And the way it works is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I go off topic. I get mixed up. I go on quite a few tangents. And it's all to keep you company and take your mind off stuff. And this is a podcast that does take some getting used to. Now, there are people that listen and it clicks right away. But for most people, it takes 2 or 3 tries to get used to the show and realize, oh, okay. This show's never getting started. It's always going nowhere. Always never getting started. And he's kind of serious about all this stuff. But it takes some getting used to it. First, you may be skeptical, doubtful, frustrated. Then on your second time, you might just be unsure or curious. And then on your third time, you wake up, you say, wait a second, I didn't know. I guess I fell asleep during that sleep podcast. So that's how it works for most people. But there are people that never acquire the taste for the show or a taste for the show. And I have a website set up for you, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. And I'm pretty proud to say that we've delivered tens and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of listeners to other sleep podcasts and sleepy stuff. And that's pretty cool, like to help other people out in the deep, dark night, right? So, if the show doesn't work for you, or you say, I don't know if I like you, that's totally cool. Check out sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. What else do you do? This is a podcast you kind of just barely listen to. It's like background noise, a TV on in the other room, a show streaming under your pillow, an out of focus picture, or like a boring friend you call, or you say, hey, or a roommate, you say, hey, tell me a story. I'm not going to pay attention to you, but I'm having trouble sleeping. And they say, oh yeah, no problem. I'll tell you about, my dog's lying here. Her eyes are open and she's blinking, but I think she might be asleep, or maybe going to sleep. And, I wonder if she knows I'm talking about her or not. She must know how much I love her so much. She's such a great dog that she just moved her head again. And if you know I love you so much, you will do whatever you're going to do next. Blink, exactly. So, what was I saying? It's a podcast you just barely listen to, just like that. If your roommate was telling you that all night. Oh, and then she'll Sometimes she breathes through her nose. Maybe all the time. I don't know. And she likes to lie there. Sometimes her ears move. You say, okay, great. Keep talking like that. Maybe slightly more interesting. So it's a podcast you don't totally listen to, but you could listen to it. It's also a sleep podcast. It's been around since 2013, but I'm not here to put you to sleep. There's no pressure to fall asleep with this show. I'm going to be here over an hour, so you don't have to worry about falling asleep. There's people listening who can't sleep at all, or who need a break during the day, or something to listen to during the day, or wake up in the middle of the night. And I'm here to the very end to keep you company, whether you're awake or asleep, to take your mind off stuff, whether whatever shape you're in. Because my job's to be your Borbay, your Borsib, your Borbud, your Nabor, your Borby, your Borman, your Boris Borloff, your chairman of the boards, your Borsib, your Borbra, your best boar friend forever, just to hang out while you fall asleep or while you're comforted in the deep, dark night. And it's a job, so you don't have to worry about falling asleep. Say, I got that sleep podcaster here to keep me company. So that's my job. What else? A structure of the show is another thing I like to run through really quick, just to meet you where you are if you're new. So you get an understanding of why we structure the show the way we do. The reason why is to benefit the maximum amount of people we can. And the cool thing, not just about Sleep With Me, but most sleep podcasts or most podcasts in general, is your podcast app, you can make the show, podcasts are a little bit more flexible, right? So the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Then there's support, so that paying for the show is optional, right? Because there's people that are new to the show. There's people that are going through a tough time. There's people who only listen once in a while. There's people who can't support the show. But the people that do support the show bring it to everybody. And most of the people that support the show are people whose lives have been greatly improved by the podcast. That's just the main touchstone. Has my life been greatly improved by the podcast? No. Or I'm new, or nah, I listen once in a while. It's pretty good. No, if your life's been greatly improved by a podcast, those are people who support the show. So the support lets us bring the show, the listener support and the sponsor support, to everybody. And that instead of being just a paid service or whatever. Okay, then after the support is a long meandering intro. It's like 15 to 20 minutes long. And the intro serves the purpose of kind of introducing the podcast inefficiently. You say, but I do a new intro for every episode. And the reason I do that is because the intro is not supposed to be familiar, but it's supposed to be different every time, so that whatever's keeping you awake can't quite adjust, right? It says, well, I don't know what he's going to talk about. Can't believe his dog's sleeping through this, even though dogs sleep all the time. So, I guess that's part of the intro, right? She just turned her head. She's not looking at me, but she's facing my direction. And, what was I saying? Oh, structure. Oh, so the intro, the reason it goes on and on and on for 15 minutes is because this is the time of the show where everybody hangs out. While there is a small percentage of people that fall asleep fast, and if you do fall asleep fast and you're hearing me, please support the show, because we're always trying to get you're one of the key groups, right? But most people, when they listen to the intro, are winding down. They're getting ready for bed. They're in bed getting comfortable. They're turning out the lights. They're puffing their pillows. They're petting their pets. They're doing a chill wind down activity. So the intro is here to ease you into bedtime, to be a buffer between the day and the night, or the evening, as a part of a wind down routine. That's what works for me personally, and that's just what's been shown to work out there. For the most part, and it's nice. I think the key thing about a bedtime routine is that it's nice, right? It's better than not having one. It gives you something to look forward to. Even if it's this podcast, you say, well, at least I got that he's just a semi-podcast. It's kind of like the new mid. He keeps trying to invent the new mid, even though mid's gone now. Yeah, he's semi. Oh, like a semi-truck? No. Like semi-sweet? I feel like semi-sweet morsels are inaccurate, but if you could consider them semi-sweet if semi-sweet morsels and chocolate chip cookies didn't exist. He's more just semi. Are you sure he's not semi? No, you could say that. He's semi. That maybe he'll start checking into, if there ever comes a time where you could check into hotels under imaginary names again. Those glory days were gone before he made up imaginary names. He could go by semi. And semi here. Yep, semi. No, semi. Yeah, no, semi. No, that's semi. No, it's a C, and there's a C in there. Yes, there is. A lot of people don't know that's what CS in the C.S. Lewis may have not stood for, but I did just popped in my head. Oh, yeah, semi. Yeah, semi. Anyway, he is semi, and who's he? Most people don't like the show. Oh, most people don't fall. Oh, but yeah, most people are just listening to become. Oh no, structure the show. So the intro goes on and on and on to ease you into bedtime. Then after the intro will be support, and then there'll be a bedtime story. And all told, we'll be here over an hour for you to help you out if we can, because I've been there, and tons of other people that are listening have been there. And while we're rooting for you in the deep, dark night, whatever it is that's keeping you up, or, we all just hope you get the rest you need. So that's it. If this podcast has changed your life for the better, and if the podcast has changed your life greatly for the better, if you could listen to this part of the show and think about one of the ways you could support the show back, it'd be huge, and I'd be really appreciative of it. So, yeah, if the podcast has changed your life for the better, this message is for you. Thanks. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots. If you are hearing this message and you support the podcast on Sleep With Me Plus, you pay for the podcast, you should not be getting this message. It means you're listening to the ad-supported version of the podcast. And here's what I want. I want to make sure you're getting the ad-free versions of the show, because you get ad-free full episodes. You get ad-free story-only episodes on the same day the full episodes come out. You also get bonus stuff. You get episodes super early or a little bit early. If you're a boyfriend or boy best, you get those all-night, all-intro versions. But if you're listening to this version, you don't have access to that for some reason. So please send me a message through our website, the contact form on our website, so I can help you get everything set up. Because I don't want you missing out on that stuff you're paying your hard-earned money for. But plus, if you listen all night long, if you fall asleep fast, all the versions of those episodes, they're a lot better for all-night listeners. They're a lot better for people that fall asleep fast. So let me help you get everything set up. Send me an email through the contact form on our website so I can help. Thanks. Hello, everybody. This is your friend Ray. In case we've never met before, my name's Ray Perkins. I'm Scooter's neighbor thrice. So thrice. Being in Scooter's neighbor's been so nice. Thrice. I guess I should have rehearsed that before. I've been Scooter's neighbor. Being Scooter's neighbor is so nice, I chose to do it thrice. And what does that mean? I've been Scooter's neighbor on the west end of Alameda, on the east end of Alameda, and then here in New York State, in the middle of New York State here. And quite exciting. But what I'm here to do is talk to something about before we moved, because Scooter will talk about that, and you may have heard about it in episode 1400. And, originally we had discussed me doing that, but then Scooter thought about Koa and Koa's perspective. And I think that ended up being a pretty nice episode there. It was interesting because it was going to be a travel back in time. But I'm Ray Perkins. Now, if you knew or you've only been listening a while, maybe we never met before. So it's nice to be here in your ears, I like to say. And I became friends with Scooter Scooter, the reluctant friend. I don't know if we've ever talked about that before, but that's Scooter, the reluctant neighbor. Book 1, reluctant. Book 2, the reluctant neighbor. Book 3, the reluctant acquaintance. I don't know which one of those would come first. And then book 4 would be reluctant again. That would be the title. I guess these should be published. And then book 5, I don't know if we could get there in book 5, the reluctant friend. And then there would have to be some sort of punchy subtitle, but reluctant no more. Just kidding. I guess we could come out with them for years. So once again, reluctant, return to reluctance. I guess that would be reluctant no more. Return again to reluctance. Reluctant? Question mark. So plenty of novels we could never publish on Gingerbread Press. But what I'm saying is I'm a very friendly, outgoing person here, and I try to become Scooter's friend or just be pleasant to him. Not that he's an unpleasant person. He's just not. He's just in his own world most of the time. That's why he's suited to make a sleep podcast. But I come on from time to time, a few times a year, to share things. And I had the distinct pleasure of going to the New York State Fair for the first time, multiple times. And I know Scooter did an episode about it, like wondering before we went. And I will tell you, we did not, we always were with other people. So we were kind of like guests in a sense. And very rarely were we alone. And so, a lot of the things we wanted to do, we did a few of them, but not many. So the first thing I'm going to do is check Scooter's notes here, if I could find them, about the fair. Okay, so he does have a lot highlighted here. So I'm going to go through the highlights and see. Okay, Wednesday, August 20th, we did not make it to the fair. So that didn't matter. But Thursday, August 21st, I believe we did go to the fair that day. We did not see or hear about the Goat Knowledge Olympic contest or the Island Hopper. Oh, we were here, though, because, Taylor Dane was playing the same time as the Island Hoppers Steel Drum Band. And we must have arrived right before 1 p.m. because, I guess we did. I think we arrived at 12:10. We do have other sets of notes, but I thought we'd progress slowly. But so Taylor Dane was a star in the 1990s, and I think she had shared that she had not been in New York, in Syracuse, New York, in quite some time. But, oh, boy, was it exciting, because we had no idea. We knew that Taylor Dane had hit a couple. Taylor Dane, not a one-hit wonder. Taylor Dane, not a two-hit wonder. Koa's coming in to listen to me record. This is a whole new world. Go ahead, Koa. Lie down on this bed in front of your friend Ray and listen to me record. So nice to have you. And to be in your ears as well. Koa's not so sure. She says, well, I don't know if I'm going to lie down and watch you, Ray. You know Scooter. Okay, Koa left. So Taylor Dane has multiple, 4, 5, 6 hits that we had forgotten about it. So I guess not apologies to Taylor Dane, but we risked becoming an assuming that Taylor Dane only had 1 or 2 hits. And what a show Taylor Dane put on. We had lunch al fresco while listening, and Scooter would run over and watch Taylor Dane and take pictures on there's a lot of big screens. So what a way to start out our visit to the fair. Now anything else that was highlighted that we saw that day? Oh, Cheap Trick. We did not make it that long. We did try to go to the Paul Bunyan Lumberjack show, but it was so full that we couldn't even see. There was no standing room. Maybe there was a little bit, but it was in the direct sun. And it did seem very high energy and well done and a fan favorite. So those are the things that were highlighted. We did see Taylor Dane, so that's good. Oh, so Scooter did ask. I want to give Scooter a lot of credit here. He never checked these notes, unfortunately. But we that day on Thursday, Scooter could not find the llama costume contest, and he had been telling everybody about it. And he went to a booth, like an information booth, and said, when's the llama costume contest? And the person said, so what? And he said, llama costume contest. I saw it in the app there, but I can't find it anymore. And the person looked up in binders, could not locate a llama costume contest at all. So we don't know if that happened or not. Now, we did go, I believe that was this day, on Thursday. The llama costume contest was on Friday. I guess I should still talk about, because this was on Scooter's list, to see the living Zoltar. And this was a performance piece, very, I would say, it more than, if there was 5-star ratings, it would be more than 5 stars. And if you've ever seen one of these in the movie Big or at an amusement park, and even in Disneyland and Disney World, where you put a quarter in, you make a wish, or you get, well, in this one, you made a wish and you could get a card with your, like, what to expect. But this was a real person pretending, and they were quite funny and quite, like, so, and they adjusted the performance for children and adults. Okay, it's Ray again. Koa was not sure. She's still not sure about listening to me record. Scooter tried petting her. She did lie down. She sat down for a minute, and then she said, no, thanks. And then she went, and she said, I think I'd rather eat now and go outside now. Though it's a little early for that, and it's raining outside, and she doesn't like rain. So I'll get back to the Zoltar. So it was... It looked exactly like the booth you would see at it. So this is like a thing from the Penny Arcade era, maybe? I don't know. Old-fashioned arcades, you would say. And, Ray, I'm an experienced adult, so that doesn't bother me. And there's other versions of this, but this one is called the Living Zoltar. And, well, the only issue was it was not in the place we thought it was. But then Scooter spotted it. He said, I think that's it down there. Now, this isn't for everybody if you don't have a degree of, like, a self-flexibility, like appreciation for strong humor. But this does remind me of Epic Universe and Dark Universe and Epic Universe. Like where you could have some humor at your expense. And Scooter knew this because we watched it, and Zoltar was nicer to the kids, and I don't know what he was doing, but I think he was somehow, like, he may have had, I can't confirm this, but he may have had the ability to do balloon sculpting with not microscopic, but almost microscopic balloons. Because based on what a child wished for, he would give them something that looked like some sort of carved figure. But we were like, well, that's impossible because the child said this. And then he gave them a little toy that was that. Like, I wish I had a pony. I wish I had a unicorn. And he would normally say something funny. A lot of times he was saying he couldn't hear. We didn't know if that was to buy time or he couldn't hear a part of his act. But when it came time for Scooter was a little over-rehearsed because he didn't want to, he was like, I wonder if I could avoid him having any humor at my expense by buttering him up. So Scooter tried buttering him up. And at first he couldn't hear Scooter, and then he said, well, what do you wish for? And Scooter said that the weather's good for you tomorrow. He said, what? Like, I don't he was, and he surprised Scooter 2 or 3 times. So like when you're watching a movie and something happens in your surprise, so, oh boy. I moved my rear end on my seat there. I was so surprised. It was very much like a Robin Williams bit. If Robin Williams was doing this and Scooter was the And these characters, they do appreciate a foil. So Scooter was the foil for everyone to laugh at. But it wasn't just Scooter. And so that was excellent. I just wanted to say, and we saw it more than once. So we got to. Have you seen that? Okay, but we did not see the llama costume contest. We did check out some of these New York State science stuff. We didn't see the Science Fair Digital Eyes project. We did not see any cloggers. We missed Kids Bop. So we missed the Erie Canal cloggers and Edelweiss Schulplatters. Even though we saw the place where they were performing, the time was off. So I guess that's it for the highlights there. Hello, everybody. This is your friend Ray, and I'm back again. I was never gone, but we did take Co out for a walk, and a day has passed. But now we're going to look at, we have the voice notes we took and also the photographs. And so my job here, I believe, and Scooter could correct me if I'm wrong, is to just run through both of these things here and then see what we have. Let me load up, Scooter saying, load up the photos, Ray. Now, most of these are private photos, so we're unable to share them, but, and there's Co again. She came right in to listen to me record. We'll see if she lies down and she says, Ray, I'm not lying down on the job. I'm not lying down while you're on the job either. Okay, Scooter, this is not looking like it has all the photos which we're going to need here. Oh, because, okay, you're right, Scooter. I was on the wrong day. You're correct. Now, let's see. So we got a lot of pictures here of the fair. Okay, what is the first? Let's see what the first official picture is. That's of the okay, it's of the Center of Progress, I believe. So we have a few pictures of the Center of Progress, and we have the sand sculpture, which was celebrating the Erie Canal. Sal says this was when hashtag Sal says sales on the Erie Canal. And then there's a beautiful sculpture of people kayaking on presumably the Erie and biking. Oh yeah, biking. There's a forest. It says New York State Canals. It does not. It looks like a sculpture. DeWitt Clinton. I believe the Erie Canal was called Clinton's Ditch. 200 years in New York State Canal. So not just the Erie Canal. Oh no, 200 years Erie Canal. Let's go. And then there's something that says the fair. Then Taylor Dane and Scooter saying Taylor Dane. Then more Taylor Dane performing, because Scooter, every time he saw the video, he would say, oh, Taylor Dane's performing. Then lunch. We'll run through all this. Then a guitar solo. I think it was that after Scooter ate lunch. Okay, let's cover that first. Okay, August 17th, at 12 to 1. We arrived at the fair. People were ordering lunch, walking through food areas and lines. County fairs versus state fairs. Cash only. There was a lot of Scooters has been very thrown off by the fact that you have to have cash at a lot of places. We're just not used to it. It's not a part of our way of doing things to have cash all the time. Or to have cash on hand. Scooter actually doesn't even have a wallet that can hold cash. But it may be time for a change, New York State Parks app. Scooter wanted to remember that. Keychains and swag. This is not a lot of good details. I thought we had more details here. Okay, this is Ray. I'm back here. Now, we petted Co until she fell asleep, but we'll see if she stays asleep. So, unfortunately, however we did our voice notes, it does not seem very relevant. So I'll just go by pictures. So we got there. We went to the Center of Progress building, which at some point Scooter will take pictures of one day. And what was interesting about that is that that's appeared in at least 2 episodes of Sleep With Me. And this building is where, like, even if you go to a county fair, there's you do have these buildings full of vendors. Now, the nice thing about the New York State Fair, though, that I think is different from a county fair, is that mixed in with the for-profit vendors, which are always interesting, you know, selling things like chamois, yawa, magic pans, the broom, you know, the ultra broom, a lot of mattresses and the hot tubs. But there's also like state agencies, a lot of different state agencies saying, hey, this is what our agency does for the state and how it benefits the state. It's the New York State Fair. And most of those agencies have swag, and some of it you have to spin a wheel. Some of it you have to engage with the people. Some of the best thing we found was, I can't remember what it was, but 1 or 2 had sunscreen, just little packets of sunscreen, which we ended up needing later. Chip clips, or refrigerator clips, which so Scooter gave to his daughter to use in college. Handheld fans, 2 of them had handheld fans, which what we tried to use on a drive cross country, but it didn't work because you have to hold the button instead of switch it, because we said, oh, it could hang that for Koa, and we'll see how long the battery lasts, but it just wouldn't stay on. All right, buddy, this is your friend Ray. And last we left off, because now we've taken Koa for a walk, and she seems to be resting now. So we're going to return to the New York State Fair, even though we haven't, we've been gone for a little while, but you have not. And we were in the Center of Progress building. And then we had moved on to lunch, where Scooter did not have cash. So he was unable to, he had to compromise on his lunch. And this has been an adjustment for him. Now, this isn't a debate. It's just, we had lived in a place for a long time where you did not ever carry cash. It was just, except if you went to the taco truck. But even then, in the last 2 years, the taco trucks have started taking cards. But other than the taco truck, and in fact, most food trucks, a lot of times, were giving discounts depending. So it's just an adjustment to carry cash, and it's caused a couple conundrums for Scooter, including at the fair where he could not eat. And now, I wonder if he took pictures of this. The Scooter also did manage to find the best places to buy Coke Zero or Pepsi Zero. Not that this is an endorsement of either one, but he did find there was one place that had $1 cans of soda, and then there was another place, I think it was $3 for a paper cup of soda, and then $1 to refill that paper cup that day. So yeah, that was his 2 sources of things. Now he did find this beautiful building, the horticulture building, which was erected in 1937, and it's quite the building. It's dedicated to the advancement of the floral, fruit, and vegetable industries of the Empire State. And just outside it has, it has these 2 fish fountains. I don't know if one of them was operating or not, but the sculpted in tile, in these blue and turquoise colors. And it seems like they've been restored, but then definitely restored is the facade of the building, also in tile or painted, and it has birds and flowers and cornucopias, and it's just beautiful. I don't know if it's glazed tile or painted ceramic. But very, very, very beautiful, beautiful. Then we looked at the maple syrup that won the awards. You don't get to taste it, but there was champions of different maple syrups, like blue ribbons. I think purple ribbon is the top ribbon. Let's see, blue ribbon, first place. Second place, so you get a red ribbon. And they had different rankings, premium. What else we got that Scooter took a picture of? The overall champion. It also got the blue ribbon. Now, unfortunately, the ribbons covered up the syrup. Then there was like a maple display. Scooter got the maple soft serve, which he said it was excellent. Then we left again. Taylor Dane's still playing. Scooter thought it was the end of the show, but then Taylor Dane was still doing the thing. If we have time, I'll try to look up Taylor Dane's thing. Then we went to see people doing, equestrian competitions, and this was younger people on horses. And that was very nice. And that's in, I think they call it the Coliseum. And that was one of Scooter's mom's favorite things. She loved horses. She loved going to see horses. Not going to see horses. Because I guess you'd go to if you were going to see horses, you'd either go to the sea or you'd go to an aquarium. But she likes going to see horses with her eyes. Then Scooter on the I don't know if that's a colonnade, but the thing between the dairy products building and some other building had Corinthian columns. And then it was time to go to the dairy products building and see the butter sculpture. Dairy, wickedly good for you is the name of the thing of the butter sculpture. It's a 57th annual butter sculpture, and it's the American Dairy Association Northeast. This was sculpted by Merle and Jim or Marie. I can't quite read it. We'll try to look again. I think Jim and Marie, and we do have multiple pictures. So there's a balloon. So I think it's themed somewhat after the popular musical, but also the book, Wizard of Oz, which was written in Chittenango, New York, I believe. Or that's where L. Frank Baum is from. Oh, yeah, there's a Yellow Brick Road. It says Thrive, and there's a version of Dorothy and Toto, and then a boy with a baby lion, and then a cow in a hot air balloon. I'm trying to see what angle Scooter has pictures of. He may have got, there's even milk jugs to weigh down the thing. And, there's one of the good, at least on one side is one of the good Glinda or somebody. Then we tasted milk, and Scooter only got chocolate milk. Scooter's father tried to order vanilla milk. They said, sir, we have regular milk and chocolate milk. One day they announced they'll have, strawberry milk in a few years, though. And then this is when we saw Zoltar. Zoltar says, make your wish. He had great makeup on as well, to make himself look sculpted, and his beard and mustache and everything. Really, and the booth design was excellent as well. Then we went to a new building, which I'm not sure what it was called, I'm sure, but they had animatronics there from the Ice Age. Now, not animatronics from the movie Ice Age, like animatronics themed around the Ice Age. But this was kind of unprecedented. And this was a large building I think for future use, maybe for sporting competitions or indoor concerts. But what was amazing about this building was it's air conditioned, so that was a big deal. And it was shady, obviously, it's out of the sun. Those are two important things. But then the animatronics were not behind anything. So if, for example, there was a possibility of many unsupervised children or children with like Scooter's generation of watching, saying, "Oh yeah, go ahead." Like the animatronics, if there's not a fence around it, do whatever you wish. So these poor animatronics, like I hope the company made them like most of them were functioning, even though the children were really interacting with non-interactive animatronics. They also had like snowballs, which were like the wool balls you put in your dryer, and people were putting them in like throwing them and which was fine, but also putting them in the mouths of the animatronics. And there was quite a few of them. I mean, the holy Ice Age. Then they got a pizza frite, which is a fried dough, a long piece of fried dough versus a round, flat piece of fried, like a pan. Normal, if you make fried dough at home, you make it like a round piece of dough, at least in my experience, and you put cinnamon sugar on there. I don't know if that's a worldwide thing, but you could do it at home. It's a treat you can make at home. You could have to fry it and like somewhat deep fry it. But pizza frite is a longer kind of braided piece of fried dough, over 2 feet long, very delicious. Cash only there as well. So only cash at Pizza Frite. And it has a distinctive purple A-frame building that it's served out of. Also in the same building as the... we didn't have any pictures of this, but there was I Love New York State tourism boards. Like they had a... what do you want to call it there? An interactive booth where you could win swag. I don't think we won very good swag. But that was fun. It was a bit of a backup. So it was like a treasure hunt through different regions, tourist regions. Now, I should back up because I don't think I finished the swag because we've been jumping around a bit. Here's Koa for another visit. And so one of the best piece of swag, potential piece of swag we got is an ice scraper. Now, we did have to answer a question and spin a wheel to win that ice scraper. And I'm not sure which part of the New York State Department of whatever was in charge of that ice scraper, but they were in charge of it. But the Scooter's like, well, I don't have an ice scraper, so that's good. I want an ice scraper, so when I need to scrape ice in the future, I'll be able to. So that was fun. Then there's like a conservation area about conserving rain. Scooter was trying to find out more. There's a thing, Ronnie Raindrop. Then another day we went and we met a couple other families that Scooter's related to. And we had lunch with them. Scooter ate a lot because he didn't have cash and because he was, he didn't really know the layout because he was never alone. I mean, just me and Scooter. He wasn't ever able to have his own adventures. That's why he missed out on a lot of things. But, next, he just didn't have time or I don't think he had a vehicle at all either. He definitely didn't have a vehicle. He did borrow his father's vehicle once or twice, but that was to go meet his friends at the fair. But this fair does definitely feature a lot of New York State things and say, hey, New York State is pretty great. Okay, so Koa's lying down now. So we went to this room, which was full of models of carnivals and theme parks that are like people's hobbies. So a bit like a train set without trains that just has carnivals and models. And I'm trying to see if we could see the label of this one. I don't think I could read it. It's by Brian. And it is a huge one. Holy cow. It has a Ferris wheel. It has the ship, Lady Witchbeard's ship. It has a Midway. I guess that's what we have the pictures of there. Wow, look at these details. As I zoom in, there's a hot dog cart. There's a skydiver. There's even the truck with the power for this. There's a Sea Ray. There's an ice cream truck. There's people. There's porta potties. What is that one called? There's that's like I think it's called the Polar Express. It's one of those rides that goes in a circle, then goes the other way that you sit down in. Then there's a little miniature carousel. And I think even deep fried Oreos. Interesting. And then a rainbow, I don't know what it's called, but some sort of rainbow ride. There's a booth, sweet and salty. There's swings. Wow. Wait. Scrambler. What's that in the background there, Scooter? That's like a fun house. I got it, which is a bit like Fascination. Maybe this is the Danville Fair from Danville, Virginia, because there's a poster that says America's Finest Midway, the James E. Strait Shows. And this is from 1974, this poster, even though it looks brand new. The Greater Danville Fair, the Wonder World of Family Entertainment. Okay, this one is by Carl. This is a Boonville, Oneida County Fair model. Also very large. And what's brilliant about this is it seems to be taking place on like the town green. So this house is in the street and cars parked on the street, and then a fence. And then the fair's on the inside of the fence. What do we got? We got some tents. Can we read anything? Okay, this is Ray again. We were looking at the Boonville, Oneida County Fair. And there's a lot of tents. There's some freestanding buildings. There's a fun house, an Apple Betty's clam chowder. Let's see, do we have any other pictures of that one? Oh, wow. Is that the same one? So Scooter got a corner shop. Oh, wow. There's a house with corn, like a farm. Oh, there's a farm. There's where some of the RVs are parked. There's, then we have, Jeff's version of the Jefferson County Fair in Watertown. We're going to have to put these on our, this is a Midway. We'll have to put some of these on our thing. Jeff has a huge handmade, what's that thing called? Ferris wheel. But one thing about Jeff's sculpture is that it's all paper. Though maybe some like matchsticks too. Versus other ones which may have been purchased models or handmade models. Jeff's was all paper. Okay, now we got another one. I think this is the other side of the Boonville one, and it has the stadium, and it has Mr. Knievel, or who was Dave? Was it a Dave? Right? He was. I'm thinking of the actor. He was also on Curb Your Enthusiasm. But he would have a show on Super Dave. Yeah, Super Dave Osborne. There we go. We got it. It only took a few seconds for Scooter to help me there. So Super Dave Osborne is performing, and there's a crowd there in the grandstands watching. And it even says, yeah, Boonville, Oneida County Fair, summer tradition, WBRV radio. So that's cool. Then there's the 20th, there's the Ringling Brothers Bonham and Bailey night at Kenneth Field. Does this have a year? It was the Metro's 10th anniversary of service. And there's a person and a unicorn. There's some sort of stars. Q107 hit radio WDCA. So this is D.C., not Los Angeles, D.C. Oh, so this is 10 years after the Metro's been running, because you could take the Metro to the stadium. How exciting. So if you knew when the Metro started, you would have an idea of what year this was. Seeing is believing. Seeing the living unicorn is believing. Okay. Oh, then there was a cool thing. This we'd like to do next year, because adults and children and teams can do it. The bucket of junk competition. Contestants were all given a bucket containing the same items. They had 3 weeks to complete the unique exhibit using only the items in the bucket. These could be done as an individual or a team. Oh, then Scooter took a picture of the Wurlitzer. So the Syracuse Wurlitzer's having its centennial celebration. Oh, wait, that says 1923. No, 1925. But we missed it. October 19th. Scooter, we should go to this. It's at 2 p.m. Doors are at 1:30. A movie about Notre Dame with Lon Chaney, and someone's going to be playing live Wurlitzer, so we'll have to go to that. Then the next picture I'm seeing is Scooter. We're meeting with like the New York State Parks Department. Then another band, which I believe was Lily Rose was playing. Then there was a bird show where birds performed. Then Scooter returned to the milk bar where somebody actually photo jumped on his selfie. Very subtly, I might add. So that's a nice job there. And then another viewing of the backside, Scooter and his father looking at the backside of the Butter sculpture. Ladies and gentlemen, the 12th wonder of the world, the backside of a Butter sculpture. I think it rotates, though, so everybody sees this Butter sculpture's backside. But actually what we're seeing is there was two characters, maybe an adult and a child. Who's the star of the Wizard of Oz? Ruby? No, Dorothy Scooter. And then Butter sculpture blocked by. Oh, here's okay. There's someone. Oh, Nourish. So there's someone. One of the characters is with child, and she's holding a big cup of milk and holding her belly, saying Nourish. Okay, then we had let's see more. Then Scooter went briefly, saw the last two songs, the Neon Trees. That was the night show. Then they played I Got It. Yeah, so this is the game where you try to put 5 red balls in a straight line. And when you do that, you get you say I got it. So a bit like Fascination, but it's not it's all wood. So it's not automated. And no one won that. Also, you needed cash for that. I think it was only 50 cents or a quarter, but Scooter had to borrow money from one of his friends. And then they walked through the midway. Then Scooter went to one of his cousins was having a baby shower. Stopped at Lake Terry, but at this point in the Scooter was unable to go in Lake Terry. I don't think he said this on the show yet, but his first swim of 2025 in Lake Terry took place in the fall. The first or second day of autumn was when Scooter got his first swim in Lake Terry. Because during the time where his hand was getting better, he was not allowed to swim in there. Also, when he walked to the fair by himself, he passed a sign that said Schoolhouse Number 2, located here, CA. 1849, on the property of Robert G. It was later the site of a firehouse. Schoolhouse Number 2. I don't know. Located here, CA. I don't know what that means. There's also Solar Salt. So these are like historical New York State historical signs. This is where the Western and Island and Western Coarse Salt Companies, established here by the Erie Canal, CA, 1850. So, Solar Salt. Then another viewing of the, what do you call that thing? The sand sculpture. That's what you call it, right? The sand castle, sand sculptor. And the person there is working, Sandman Steve or something. He's working hard. What else we got here? Oh, then Scooter checked out the waterlogged area near where the concerts were, the big concerts at nights. Then his friends practiced with archery. His brother and some of his friends, they did archery while Scooter's, hand, he was not archery ready. I don't know if that's his last visit to the fair. We'll have to see here. Yeah, that's it. So that was it for the fair. And so I hope you enjoyed this trip, and we'll see, but it was the New York State Fair was great. It was a really good time, had by all. I believe so. I think we had a really nice time, Scooter and I, and his brother and his father, some of his friends. But yeah, it'd be nice next year when we're residents, because we were just visiting. We had come to bring Scooter's daughter to college, to drop some things off where we were moving, and then Scooter still had to go home and move out. So did I. But it's a little bit easier for me because I don't make a sleep podcast. I'm just a guest on there. But hopefully we'll be able to do more of this. I mean, I know Scooter had done episodes about the New York State or the Syracuse Winterfest. So it'd be nice for him to do an episode about that as well. So hopefully this is good night, everybody, from your friend Ray. Good night. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And I'm excited to tell you about my Helix mattress. I took the Helix quiz after I moved at helixsleep.com/sleep. And I got matched with an amazing mattress that fits my sleep needs, my feel preferences. And every winter night, I'm cuddled up in there. I am so cozy. How about you and your mattress? Do you have that kind of same relationship where every night you say, "Hey, boo, I can't wait to see you," like a mattress that fits your needs? What do you want in a mattress? What's going to make you comfortable so that you could drift off into dreamland? That's what Helix has figured out, because you go to helixsleep.com/sleep. You take that Helix quiz. Helix matches you with the perfect mattress based on your personal preferences and sleep needs. It makes buying a mattress so easy. It brings such peace of mind. Helix mattresses are award-winning beds, not just my favorites, but they've been tested and reviewed by experts like Forbes and Wired. And that Helix mattress comes straight to your door. Free shipping in the U.S., and I know I'm sleeping good in my Helix. I just don't know about you and the mattress you have right now. Maybe it is time for an upgrade. And now is the perfect time, because, of course, Helix has a deal for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their President's Day sale. Now through March 1st. This offer is exclusive for listeners of Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive offer, 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody.